Hey guys, sup? So yeah, we're back in Kerbal Space Program, and today we're going to be basically building a slight transit jet, which is initially going to be designed to transfer just general parts of ships, space stations, to different ships or space stations, which is going to be quite useful in that sense. So yeah, we'll get, so yeah, initially, same perspective as last time. We build it like this. I'm going to be one trying to talk to you. So initially my first idea was to mount on some wings that initially, while we're flying, decouple. But that idea, you'll see what will happen with that. So yeah, and initially, again, I won't show you how I get into space, because you don't really want to see that, and it's just this grueling task of, if you've got a big ship, 10 days later, oh, yay, guys, finally, we're in space, fuck yeah, stuff like that. But interplanetary missions I will show you, as I've told you before, last episode, more or less. So, yeah. Oh, God, okay. So, yeah, I'm adding a lot of fuel onto this ship, because simply, this ship is, its job's gonna be, suppose, if we're doing an interplanetary mission, it's gonna have nuclear engines on the bottom, which are very, very, very fuel efficient. So if we do interplanetary missions, sorry, I've got this cold, slight cold currently. So yeah, if we're doing interplanetary missions, initially plan is we use this to, if we need to, tug around a big ship, a small ship, I don't know. So yeah, and initially so I told you the idea with my wings that they fall off. I'm gonna be testing that in the video. It's just the whole thing with wings it's just it won't work in the end, but you'll see that sooner or later. Yeah. So yeah, if you're wondering how I do this, I might even do a tutorial on how I record a video and then I add audio. But I am using, if I may just quickly show you, and my computer, no, it didn't just black out. I'm recording RecordPad sound recorder, and yeah, the only thing I just googled, audio recorder for Windows 7, and that was the first thing on the list. I just used the audio recorder. You get a free editor. It's free. It's useful, and it's quite good audio quality wise. And it doesn't record that high. So yeah. And initially, all of my recordings I do on Fraps, but I edit them in Windows Movie Maker, which is a simple, useful movie maker. Yeah. Yeah, so initially you could see me here putting on the decouplers for the wing, and initially the main plan was for me to fly into space with those wings, initially giving me more lift while we're going up to space. Then decouple them in space, getting rid of a lot of, well, not a lot of weight, a small amount of weight, but therefore losing all of the lift that we would have gotten through the thrust. Even though there isn't much lift in space, I think curl physics do still allow, if wings, you get a slight amount of lift added on. I've had that experience before because I've had to fly on wings, and I actually did. But I covered thrust, and I was basically, it was like 5 minutes after I was still raising initially, even though I was docked to a space station that was moving, but it was on its regular orbit. The wings initially made it lift slightly upwards. Now you see I'm toying around with some fins on the wings. I initially then cut that because they're just stupid. I then put on some fins on the back of the plane, which are initially more useful in that scenario. So yeah. The way I basically record this is I'm currently putting on some flash just so you know, but you can see that as well. The way I record this is I'm running this on Windows Movie Maker in full screen mode, and to that I'm recording the audio. So yeah. Of course, you could say I could run it in Windows Live Movie Player. I think Windows Movie Player or something. Yeah, I think it's called Windows Movie Player. But I just like running like this because then I can still add in the audio and then I can still edit with the audio. Also, the reason I use Windows Live Movie Maker is also if I upload with Windows Live Movie Maker, I can basically compact it to a high resolution screen. And my last 6-minute video, this is 70 minutes long, roughly, but here you can quickly see my last 6-minute video uploaded in 5 minutes. So I don't know if it's always like that, or maybe just 10 minutes this time or 20, but that's kind of useful, just saying. So if any other fellow YouTubers want to do that, get Fraps, and if you've got Windows, I don't know, Mac isn't like I don't know how it runs with Mac, or just a general Apple computer, or iOS productions, whatever. But yeah, if you've got a Windows computer, fellow YouTubers, or startup YouTubers, get Fraps, use that. If you want to, I can show you a tutorial on how I do it. So yeah, here you can quickly see me testing out the wings. Yeah, so let me just wait till they get catapulted off. I'm just turning around till the stage goes green. And see, they fly off really far. That has the effect of gravity. Initially in space, if they fly off this far, you'll see initially that they would be catapulted off, but not that far. They would initially fall off, but they wouldn't have so much of a different effect. So yeah, but now what I'm going to do is, for now still keep with, in the video for now I keep with the design of the wings, and initially now I'm going to work on, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, now, sorry, I'm really sniffly, I've got a cold and everything. Should have blown my nose before recording. Sorry. So now I work on basically the top module that you see, the main command pod thing, I don't know what it's called. Initially the plan with that is, it is going to be a little separate uncontrollable plane that will be docked to the initial power module. And initially I want to be able to dock more things onto the huge thing. Like, I think I might add in even a small amount of extra fuel tanks, but I'm not too sure about that yet. So yeah, I also add in a bit of RCS onto the whole ship, because I just currently think RCS is something I do need. Yeah. So yeah, I think like the whole ship basically relies on so much RCS to keep it going. Initially also, you didn't see the flight, but initially in space, the ship will rely on an unbelievable amount of RCS just to get up there, and initially on the whole flying system, which is basically a huge setup, which I put an extra system on, because I'm very conservative about space junk, so I basically put another control thing on, like an auto control, and I basically launch that down again, but of course off screen, because you don't want to see all that boring stuff. And also that's the period where my game froze, so basically it's been half an hour now. I let Kerbal Space Program reload for me because it takes quite long to load currently. Like open up, because I've got some mods installed like Keyfane and Rumfire's laser docking mod, which is really useful, but I don't know why, but like recently it's taking a lot longer to load. So yeah, I did the same mistake I did earlier there. I'm just playing on a lot of RCS onto your initial form of the ship, because it is put it this way, not so structurally, integrally sound ship, or initially fuel tank, because they're so far, because they are apart, it won't have the greatest connection, put it that way. So also, the ship will need power, so initially what I'm doing now is, I'm adding on some solar panels, some polytonic solar panels onto the front. I now have 4, and I still, in this part of the video, I set up the action groups, which is fairly useful in that position. Yeah. So we basically reached halfway into the episode, and we are working on the main flight thing. Yeah, we're working on the main aircraft. Yeah, so that's all quite cool, and yada yada yada. Sorry if you just heard that. That was my cat purring. Really, really loud. Yeah, so initially my plan is with this plane to initially, if we ever have to, we can decouple it close to the orbit, because this ship will have an extra because initially the little jet with the pilot in that will work currently can be controlled, but it doesn't have any thrust. So and the other part with the whole fuel and the engines I was working on earlier, that one does have thrust. And initially my plan with 1B is initially to send this down into the orbit, and then initially with the other one, get it to course off while this is still catapulted down. Then switch to this one, or whatever, or just have this one deploy its parachute in orbit, or not in orbit, I mean in the atmosphere. And then that, before I make the other one strafe off. But you have to imagine it this way. I think you get it. Yeah, sorry, I'm really confused by my own video. Yeah. So I think that's initially main frame. Yeah. So that's the whole main frame of the ship. And now we're about to put on the propulsion. Initially, I'm going to show you that I put on some small engines and stuff. I toy around with some. I first of all set up a custom action groups, which I initially get mixed up with a bit. I'll admit. I don't know why that is, but I get mixed up with them a bit. So don't bother. Because I click the toggle panels, I think those may also work, but I usually do feel safe with the extend panels function, which just works simpler. So yeah, I also have to then remember before the video ends to stop the recording earlier, because last time I had to delete a bit of the recording, but yeah. So yeah, initially this little drone I want to supply with, or this, not it's not a drone, so this little ship I initially want to supply, the decoupling ship, I want to supply with enough power, because this is initially the main part of a ship. I also can, in theory, dock this ship onto another ship and then leave a whole fuel tank system behind if I'm ever going to be doing that. So, of course, it's to debate, but it's useful. So yeah, also, just quickly saying, there's going to be a lot more frequent uploads on the weekends and Fridays and stuff like that, and stuff like those, because just generally, during the week, I have a lot to do with school, because I am a normal school kid, so it's going to be more frequently on the weekends. So don't bother checking the channel too much during the week, because there might be something up from Zeb, I'm not too sure, but yeah. So I'm currently, I realized I was stupid with the whole panel system, and I'm currently extending the panels. I think I get a bit confused, but that doesn't matter currently. So currently, you may have seen I had those fins on the back. I had just gotten rid of those initially, because I launched it and they were putting up too much weight. I'm also getting rid of the whole wings, initially, as I told you I would, because they were just distorting the whole initial aircraft, making it really wobbly. And also, I got it up into about a height of 7,000, 10,000, something like that. And so the wings would start flopping around on the decoupler, and they got all floppy and yada yada yada. So what I do next is initially I get ready to put on some propulsion, and I think, if I am not mistaken, we're about to switch slide again, and then it will be in space. The initial part in space is going to be really short, but I'm quickly going to show you how I put in all of those and how I mess around with the whole struts that are going to be holding the huge mainsail engines, or part of a huge mainsail engines right above me or connected to a ship. Yeah, so again, as I told you earlier, I will catapult the mainsails back down into space again, because they just generally don't have that big of a use. and we get it for free. So a huge engine, a huge fuel. We get that type of stuff for free currently. Oh, well, no, not really. We still are paying fees, but because we are our own company and because we have our own fuel, we get the stuff. So, guys, if you want to recommend any mods, tell me. I've had basically a friend of mine has told me to use a special mod, but I never found it initially, and I told him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's because it was deleted." So if you want me to use mods, please make sure they're regular, and they're like official, and they are still being created, and also to put a link in if in a comma, just write a link or in spaceport, just tell me what you searched for it and the initial proper name, just like, no, use that mod which allows you to use ducking cameras that I don't know the name of, but allows you to use ducking cameras and it's really useful. Dude, I've got my one installed. Yeah. Oh, sorry, bro. Well, Mr. Gamer, man. Dude, don't go hippie on me. Don't ever go hippie on me, people. So yeah, I'm gonna toy. The initial whole system is basically me toying around with all of these stupid engines. I basically take them off because all of these engines basically I need to put on the couplers and yada yada yada. It's all a vigorous process of building this plane. Yeah, so this episode is definitely a lot longer, I think. Yeah, it's 3 times as long as the last one. Just simply to give you more. I will also be, as I said, I'm going to be uploading a lot more on the weekend. Just to basically compensate for what I can't upload in the week. So, let me give you a tip on this. Don't watch all of my videos on one weekend. Go and check out other YouTubers. Maybe watch some of Zed's videos. I don't know if he's been uploading recently. Yeah, but check out our other YouTube videos, but don't watch all of them straight away, because then you won't have any for a week. Think about that. Yeah, think about it. Okay, so I'm about to skip to where we are in space, and initially the whole part where we are in space is quite fun. It's a fun part. Yeah, it's all the awesome part. Okay guys, so here in space, I set up the action groups properly. Everything is really complex. Jeb is in this ship. He's having a whale of a time. The whole ship is really cool, I think. So yeah, also you see here on the stocking, initially on there I want to add in maybe like a cruiser tug or just some general parts. So I think initially this ship is so much power that we can initially turn this into a tug system. We can also put it on a different bridge if we need to. So the ship is like basically a mix and match ship. We can also add in stuff on the side, so if you want to add more engines, that's the advantage of the ship. It's a big mix and match, and it's just really useful. So yeah, guys, I really want to thank you for watching today. You've been great guests. I'm just going to show you I don't know if I will show you that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and goodbye.